Hey everyone, and welcome back to RotarySwing.com. This is RST instructor Chris Tyler, and we have a special treat for you this week. We are going to be doing a rundown on one of the newest YouTube sensations, Paige Spiranac. We're going to be taking a look at her golf swing, who's got a very good golf swing from beginning to end. We're going to be talking about how she uses her legs in the downswing to leverage the ground, and we're going to be talking about what posting up really means and some of the ins and outs. So if you've been looking for a way to add more power from your legs in your golf swing, you want to pay close attention to today's review. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, gang, so this week we are going to be taking a look at Paige Spiranac, who has come into the golfing scene red hot these last few months, doing lots of YouTube videos and becoming a very big symbol in the world of women's golf. So we're going to actually be focusing on some of the stuff that she does in her golf swing and not any of the other stuff that's out there in the world of online. And we're going to be talking a little bit about how she uses her legs in the golf swing really well, and also talk to you guys about what posting up really means so that you can add this to your golf swing. And there's some really good points that she does in her swing to allow her to use the ground for leverage. And that's a really big source for power, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and take a look at things here closely. We're going to mark a couple of things here. I'm going to use a red line first to mark her starting point with her hips. Okay, I try to get it right across the hip bones there, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark the top of her head position as well. All right, so you'll see her load into this right leg. You're going to see her head start to dip down as she starts to work up to the top of her golf swing. Now, why does that happen? Well, if you notice this lead leg here, you can see that it's externally rotated quite a bit. All right, it's actually called internal femur rotation on that trail side. Now, when that starts to happen, that's the hips are rotating. They're rotating quite a bit more. But she's doing it in a way where she's keeping that trail leg flexed, so she doesn't have any tilt to her hips, which is a good thing. But she is also getting a little bit more of her weight to fall over into her lead side, and that's why you're going to see her head make this little bit of a downward move here. So if you've noticed that on camera, that's typically it's basically just seeing that your hips are rotating a lot further, and sometimes your weight is generally falling more over to your lead side and not getting enough into that trail leg. But she does a really good job from this particular point to get things balanced back out. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So let's go ahead and mark her head position as she starts to work here in transition. All right, we're going to use a couple of different lines here. Mark it in green this time. You can see that her hips have dropped down just a little bit here. You're going to see them drop down just a little bit even further there. Notice how her head is staying pretty much in the same spot while she works to sit over to her lead side. Now this is where her weight is starting to unload into her lead leg. And this is where we want to pay very close attention to what posting up really means. What you're going to notice here is that she is going to drive this left heel into the ground, and she's going to use the left side of her body to start to pull and clear that hip away from the target. So you're going to see an upward movement of the hips, pretty drastic here, but I want you to pay also very close attention to the head position when she does this. So the legs starting to drive up, watch the hips. Now you see how vertical the hips have gone here, and notice how the head stays very quiet. Head's going to continue to stay quiet. Lead leg is nice and straight, and she releases and extends through. So that is a awesome way to have power. So she's going up, and the club is going down. That's helping in turn extend the radius. So you're going to be at max speed right at the bottom of the arc. And that's how she's able to generate tons of club head speed in just a small frame. So this is a good move for you guys to try out. So once you get seated into that left side, work on driving that left heel into the ground, work on using that ground for leverage, and work on making sure that you keep your head quiet. You don't want your head to move vertically, because what that's going to tell us is that your hips are now coming forward, which in turn is going to make your spine go vertical, and it's going to make it very difficult for you to strike the golf ball consistently. So it's really important once you sit into that left side to keep the head very quiet. Post up with the legs, head quiet, then go ahead and release it, and you'll have more speed at the bottom of the swing arc than you've ever had. And then work on keeping your head quiet all the way through the release point of the swing. All right, so a couple of videos for you guys to check out. The straight left-legged impact, that's a good video that we put out just to talk to you about how to use the left side of the body, how to use the glutes, how to use the obliques. We also have sitting into the left side. We've got tush line. Lots of talk during these reviews about the legs, because it's a really big crux of the golf swing. For a lot of amateur golfers, not being able to shift their weight and use their lower half properly in the swing, but Paige obviously does that extremely well. Okay guys, thanks again for tuning in to this week's tour analysis with Paige Spiranac. Remember, if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post those up. The more we keep it social, the more we all learn, the more we're all going to get better at this game. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel so that way you're updated on any of our free latest videos. Let's get out there and make it a great day.
Now, how do we move it to a straight position? Okay, very simply put here, we use two very important muscles that I want to make sure that you're aware of before we set up any sort of drill. I want you to be aware of these muscles because they are very, very crucial to the leg moving to a straight position. All right, the first